In a story you're only getting from News 4, you'll hear from a former high school coach at the center of a controversial case.
A former student accused Jim Wilder of sexual assault, but she died just before a critical court hearing. With the trial dismissed, a documentary renews focus on the case. It's the first time ever he's spoken openly to a reporter, and it was only to News 4 investigator Lauren Traeger.
It's just been a real nightmare in general.
Jim Wilder seemed caught off guard when called this week.
Oh, yeah, it's like, I know. The problem is, I guess my side makes the story more juicy, and then it's a really great story. You know what I mean?
Wilder, who according to public records lives in Baldwin, Missouri, was the subject of a recent documentary on the Oxygen Network. It detailed the case of Emilie Morris, a local woman who accused Wilder of sexually assaulting her when she was a student at Lindbergh High School in the 90s. He was her coach. Nearly 2 decades later, she, working with police, secretly recorded him.
Even in your case, we did something that wasn't right according to our laws these days, right? But I'm not a creeper.
But before the case could go to court in 2014, Morris was found dead in her Baldwin apartment. Asphyxiation, her head in a trash can, though police never determined if it was accidental or something more. Without a victim, formal charges against Wilder were dismissed.
I'm sorry, Lauren. I gotta work. It's just terrible.
In an almost 7-minute-long phone conversation, Wilder opened up.
This has just been a living nightmare. They say no justice. Well, justice through the media is not justice. I didn't get due process either. The reason they offered to settle, the reason I did not settle is because I wanted due process on this. Because I did not do what I was alleged to do.
He shifts blame back on Morris.
My part was not flattering. I totally agree with that. But it was not anything close to what the allegations. I was the pursued, not the pursuer. And I shouldn't be talking, but this has just been horrible.
He claims the Oxygen documentary misreported a lot of the facts, but it prompted the creation of a Facebook page, Emilie's page, on which others have lobbed additional accusations at him, so I asked him about that.
There's no other victims. There's not. That's alleged. They're just trying to cause trouble for me or grief.
In 2008, Wilder was arrested and accused of inappropriate behavior by a student, but never charged due to lack of evidence. That person also coming forward again on Facebook now, but Wilder discredits her too.
She accused 6 people of the exact same thing.
Wilder said he would consult an attorney and consider an on-camera interview with us, but he never returned repeated follow-up calls and texts.
I mean, it's been years and years and years of this. I mean, if I had gone and murdered somebody, I'd be out with nothing going on right now. And I didn't even. All I did was try to be a mentor.
It's unbelievable.
Morris's sister Andrea and mother Joan disappointed, but say they're not surprised.
It sounds like he's still there, sort of kind of justifying his behavior and trying to blame it on a child, and that's the scariest part about this, is that this person is still in St. Louis, still thinks that what he did wasn't wrong, apparently, and is still trying to point fingers at someone who wasn't even old enough to consent.
They still want Morris to get the day in court she deserved.
I'd rather see him in prison than have him apologize.
They ask people to believe victims. They say Emilie's story is helping others.
I think she'd be just so thrilled and so proud of herself. I'm proud of her.
It is unclear where Wilder works now. The Lindbergh School District says Wilder left the district in 2015. He wasn't fired, but per an agreement can never step foot on a Lindbergh campus again, but he is able to retain his teaching license. Meanwhile, prosecutors are asking anyone with additional information either about Morris's death or if they are a victim to contact them or their local law enforcement office. We've got more information for you at KMOV.com and the KMOV News app. For News 4 Investigates, I'm Lauren Traeger.